They made 22,000 of these in Will Corsi in America. Harley Davidson couldn't produce enough of the engine, so they got contractors in to produce some of the barrels, but 22,000 is what they actually made. Very popular, 750cc, 45 cubic inch. This one, a gentleman had it after the war and had put it in a container and never ever used it after the Second World War. He rang me up exactly the same and said, "Patrick, I'd love you to have my motorbike because I don't want it, I don't know about them." I said, "You let me know what you want, I'll come and pick it up." It had to do very little. No painting, it was already just clean, the painting down was great. The Commonwealth government got all these from America, Jeeps and army tanks and motorbikes, etc., and aircraft on lend-lease through the Commonwealth government, and after the war they scrapped metal 90%, but there's 10% that was still around, aircraft, jeeps, motorcycles, army tanks. So the farmers bought the army tanks for clearing the mallee, dragging a big chain around, so they smashed down trees, etc., with it to clear the mallee. Motorcycles, they were used on the farms. Some had sidecars on them. They'd put the sheep in the sidecars, but they were called a WLC, not a WLA. The C was for car, so sidecar. They had a little bit different in their gears because you could reverse a motorcycle with a sidecar, but you can't reverse one of these single solo motorbikes because they got no reverse gear. After the war, a lot of the soldiers, my dad was 5 years in the Second World War, and they were offered to be able to purchase any of the items that they had in the Second World War that were Commonwealth Lend-Lease from America, only if they had the money, and it wasn't a lot of money. They could buy likes of this Harley Davidson probably for $50 in 1943, 1944, 1945, just after the war. So my father did. He bought 2 or 3 items, and my grandfather bought an army tank. So it was all a part of after the war. Nobody wanted them, they were surplus. So the government decided they might as well get the money for them. Only the combat motorcycles or the military police in the Second World War had the scarlet on them. And the rifle was an Enfield, an American USA Enfield. They were fitted when some of the soldiers needed to go forward, so they fitted them on so they could grab the rifle out of there and protect themselves if their pistol run out of bullets. So that's why the rifle was there. Some snipers that had them, they'd get up in a tree and use the rifle, come back down again and put it back in there again. Well, they're equivalent to the 303 English 303, yeah. But this one's very rare because it's got all those optional things on it, which all original.